stewardship. The biggest mistake that we Christians are making is we've developed the mindset of ownership instead of the mindset of stewardship. Ownership causes us to have access to a limited amount. Stewardship increases what you can have access to, because God is looking for sons and daughters that have a mindset of stewardship. The mindset of stewardship is a mindset that says, God, it's all yours. I am just a steward. So when he comes, the first thing you say is, God, what is this one for? Because in the kingdom of God, wealth is always for a purpose. And those with a mindset of stewardship, you don't always think yourself first. Oh, the holiday I want to go to, the exotic thing I want to enjoy, the exotic meal I want to go for. It's not you first. It's always God. Where in this partnership, these resources has come. What do you want this one for? God is looking for people like that. Who can I entrust that no matter what I put into this person's hands, it's not going to stay there. God is looking for who can I get resources through when I want to finance my project, when I want to start another church, when I want to send a missionary somewhere. Who can I trust? Because I can't come to the earth and dish out the money myself. I can only do this by letting my children experience supernatural favor, so it comes to their hands and they release it. But the ownership mentality makes us always think it's ours. As a matter of fact, you see all this struggle with tithe. 10% or no 10%, I keep 90%. This whole struggle, if we have this mindset of the 100% is his, you'll be delivered. Because even the 90% you get to keep is still his. Direct representation of what God trusts you to manage. And if you're ever going to increase the resources available to you, it doesn't start with hard work. It starts with a change of heart, a change of mind. But by the way, when I mention heart, sometimes I touch this, but the heart I'm talking about is not the one that... In life is not a byproduct of luck. It doesn't happen by chance. It's as a result of wisdom. Like the prophet Ezekiel said in what we just read now, that it is by wisdom and understanding that a person that we were to become wise to know how to make money work for us. See, too many people are working for money, and that's why they're broke. But one thing in common with all wealthy people, somebody said, they've mastered how to make money work for them. When we talk about the 3 M's of money, we're talking about understanding how to make money, number 1. Number 2, how to manage money. And number 3, how to multiply money. It's impossible for any human being on the face of the earth to understand those 3. One and who has more will be given. It's not possible. And will have abundance, but the one who does not have, what is it that they have? Now, we know we're not talking about money now. To everyone who has something, what's that thing? The clue we get from the story earlier in the story was, he said, he gave to them according to their ability. So we can easily extrapolate and say what Jesus is referring to here is ability. To the one who has ability. Now, ability to do what? Said, if you have the ability, more will be given to you. But to the one who does not have the ability, that there are 2 masters. What they have, Jesus said, it will be taken. He said, it's either God is your master or Mammon is your master. He didn't even say the devil is your master. He said, for every one of you, you're either serving God or you're serving Mammon. Pastor Daniel, that sounds really strong. Come on, I can't be serving Mammon. Check your life. Check how much devotion and dedication you give to what you do to get your paycheck versus your level of devotion and dedication towards his talents from 5 to 10 was given 1 more talent. Because the master trusted in his ability to keep multiplying the resources. So here is the question. Kingdom Faith Family. Can God trust you with his resources? No servant was called two things. Another day we're going to really go wicked, the other lazy. Now, lazy because of the unwillingness to work. Remember we talked about that last week? His unwillingness to work, because we discovered that word trade there is ergonia, which is a word that literally means to go to work. Okay, to work. But when you actually look at it closely, you find out that there was another kind of laziness there. It was a laziness that came from unwillingness to have intellectual knowledge or the wisdom to know how to trade.